holy shit, yes, procrastination does have a cure. And it's right here if you listen and just pay attention, bro. Today we're going to talk about procrastination. Procrastination, whether that's watching Netflix, whether procrastination, masturbation, whether procrastination is something else that rhymes with procrastination. Either way, you do it, I do it, and a lot of artists that I know do it. The question is why? Why, as artists, when we're probably some of the most passionate people on earth, why do we push off our passions? Why do we push off our artwork? Why do our musicians put off the album that they've been working on for years? Why do the writers be like, oh, I'm going to get to that novel next week? Why do we procrastinate, especially when it comes to things that we love? Other day, I went down a little rabbit hole and I found some answers from a psychological perspective. So the first thing that I found super interesting in this article is that procrastination is not about putting off the thing that we're doing. It's not about putting off the project. It's not about putting off cleaning your room. Actually, what procrastination from a psychological perspective is all about is putting off the emotions that we think are going to be tied to that task. At the end of the day, the reason we're pushing it off is because we're afraid of the feeling that's associated with it, not the task itself. For example, I love writing films. What I don't like is sitting there thinking, you know what, I should have never started this shit in the first place. What I don't like is sitting there thinking like, bro, so many people have written great scripts. First of all, who's even gonna read this? As a matter of fact, I don't even know anybody that can sell this to. Why even waste my time? Those are the emotions I'm putting off because my brain is like trying to foretell into the future and tell myself like, bad feelings are coming. We don't like that. Push that off. So when we procrastinate, what do? We say there's a big task, there's a thing I want to do. Let me push that to the side and let me instead do this, whether that's scroll through Instagram, jerk off, whether that's call somebody you don't really want to be talking to anyway. All these little things that we can do. Now, when I was researching this, what was actually super interesting is the reason that we replace one for one is because in our brains, we see a more immediate dopamine rush for the short-term task rather than the long-term task of like a short film. For example, if I'm writing a short film, I'm writing it up, my brain knows the dopamine rush, the accolades, the validation, the, oh, Amari, you did so good, is months and months, maybe even years away. So my brain is like, why would I do that when I can get the immediate dopamine rush of scrolling through Instagram and seeing a bunch of titties? Our brain is constantly doing this like gauging, this constant balancing, this constant calculating what is more worth it. So how do we fix that? We figure out how to convince our brains that this task, this big task, this short film, this album, this whatever, is actually gonna give us a short-term dopamine rush. It's gonna give us that brain food that we're searching for. For example, if I'm working on a song, right, and I'm like, I need to write these lyrics. I know I gotta write these lyrics, bro. I need to just sit down and get this shit done. How about every time you knock out a verse, give yourself a treat? I know that sounds super like a little kitty and like, oh, I rewarded myself, here's a gold star. But no, it's not actually about that. It's about literally reminding yourself that you are on the right path. You're rewarding yourselves for the little gains rather than making it a big payoff at the end of a long-term game, right? So if I say, okay, I'm gonna sit down, I'm DJ Ferrari and Martin, I'm about to write out these lyrics real quick. I'm gonna say every time I finish a verse, I'm gonna get me a carrot cake. All of a sudden, that's programming my mind, oh, I'm going to get a short-term benefit from this. And therefore, all of a sudden, I have more motivation to do the thing. Rather than you jerk off and, you feel good for like 3.5 minutes. And then it's like, oh, shit, now I feel shame. Now I feel bad. Now I feel like, oh, I'm a piece of shit. Damn, why am I always procrastinating? What's funny is that the research I was looking at says that when you shame yourself, when you hate yourself for procrastinating, you're actually digging the pathway to procrastination deeper and deeper and deeper. The more you shame yourself is the more you're actually going to procrastinate in the future. Versus if you have compassion for yourself, I know it sounds so corny. It's like even coming out of my mouth, I'm like, is this shit for real? Anyways, but it actually turns out the more compassion you have for yourself, the more you say, oh, okay, maybe I didn't get my shit done today, but at least I listened to music I like. That's probably feeding into the internal inspiration that I'm looking for. Your brain is constantly operating on this fight or flight. It always wants the good thing and it doesn't want the bad thing. So how about we give it good things, and it's like leaving little breadcrumbs to the direction we want to take it, right? If you say, my goal is to be a fucking Grammy Award winning blah, 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 blah. Don't say, okay, I'm gonna jump from point A to point B. Your brain's gonna look at like, bro, it's gonna take a long time, and like, it's gonna be a minute before we start getting laid, and blah, 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 blah. Like all the dopamine rush that your brain wants it's gonna know that that's far off in the future. So what it's gonna say is, I mean, that'd be great, and I'm sure we'll do it one day, but have you been on Instagram lately? 4 hours later, shit, now you feel bad. What we can do instead is to say, okay, yeah, I'm at point A, point B is all the way over there. Cool, in the meantime, I just wanna work on it for an hour, and as soon as I work on it for an hour, I'm gonna do something I like. I'm gonna make myself feel better. All of a sudden, we cure procrastination. Holy shit, yes, procrastination does have a cure. So I'm gonna put the link to the article below. It's got chock full of goodies. I'll probably do another episode on procrastination. One, because like I procrastinated to make this video. And two, just because like the research I was looking at, man, there's like so much juice in this conversation. Like I just skimmed the surface and I want to make sure that you guys get the value. Okay, cool. This has been an episode of How to Be an Artist. This is the cure to procrastination. And I love artists. I love art. Keep making shit. Please make it provocative. Don't make it like everybody else has made it. So yeah, trust yourself. Be yourself. I'm here because I want to see more of the shit that you're making. Let's go ahead and procrastinate and watch some more of each other's videos, yeah? I love y'all. Peace.